can say whatever you want about me. You don't know me. I'm so much bigger than that. That's what that is. Like, it doesn't even affect me. That little rock you throwing, boy, I'll take your whole world out.
Yeah,
you know, and that's, I just wanted to be on my braggadocious, like, you know, I was on my Wayne thing right then.
Hello. Do you have a verse for Kendrick or Cole or Rick Ross, Quavo, Chris Brown? You know what I'm saying?
If somebody want to tag me in there.
Yeah. No. Big Boy's Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. She is back in the neighborhood. It's my pleasure. Rapsody, welcome back to the neighborhood, love.
What's up? I'm so happy to be back.
It's a pleasure to have you back in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Hey man, like for one, you have been putting it down for many years.
Boy.
And does it feel like sometimes it's almost like an introduction at sometimes too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even with this project, this is my 4th album. I've been in the game over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I still feel like I'm just getting started.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I did this album. I'm like, no, this is really the beginning, you know?
And the album is Please Don't Cry?
Please Don't Cry.
Why that title? I've heard the album.
Yeah.
But why the title Please Don't Cry?
Because a couple reasons. One, I never like to show emotion. You know, I never allow myself to be human unless I'm alone. So it was like, you know, you grow up like, what you crying for?
Right.
But the album is really about allowing yourself to be human. So it's ironic that it's called Please Don't Cry, but the whole album is about, no, you need to cry.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be, you know, imperfect and emotional and feel. That's what living is about.
Most inside a vulnerable project to date for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By far.
Why did you feel it was very necessary? Because when you think about with 2019, right, then we kind of go in the house at 2020.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? With the pandemic. Did you feel like you found something within that silence?
Oh, yeah. The world turned down, but everything internal turned up.
Yeah.
The volume was way up. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and that kind of forced me to take the path of, okay.
You got out of a relationship around pandemic time?
Absolutely.
So when at the loneliest moments, you were lonely.
Oh, so lonely.
Oh,
Boy,
man.
It was terrible. I would sit in the house, wouldn't turn no music on, no TV. I just kind of be with my thoughts, meditate, read. But it pushed me. It was like, okay, it's just you now. So what is it that you're lacking that you feel that other person feel that you feel like you can't feel yourself?
Gotcha.
And that just started the journey. It's like an onion, they say. You peel back and peel back and peel back. And you answer so many more questions that you didn't even know you had.
Is it scary sometimes to look in the mirror or look within? Because I know that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you really gotta face yourself and accept yourself. You know, and accept, you know, the experiences you've had, the things that you wish you had done differently, but you look at it like, I got to learn from that. So.
Right. Because I always felt that your material and what you gave to us already, I always felt like, man, it was so much soul there anyway, so much talent, you know, and then when you listen to Please Don't Cry, you feel like, man, she had given us so much. And we thought we had an insight already.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I didn't give anything when I really think about it. You know, I was so unsure and kind of leaning and looking for other people's thoughts and opinions on what I should do because I didn't trust myself. And this one, I was like, you know, I don't really care anymore. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to chase any measurements of accolades of success. I just want to be.
Right.
And my friends told me too, they was like, yo, you got to show somebody, like, you know, who you in love with? What makes you mad? I was like, oh, you don't know? I was like, I guess I really haven't done that. And if I did, I buried it so much in lyrics. You had to really think.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, just be profound more than trying to be super lyrical.
Right.
You know.
And even with profound, it's still super lyrical too. You know what I'm saying?
That's in me, I think, my DNA.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I have to dumb it down. You know, because I found myself also, Rapsody, where I was like rewinding. And you know, when I got the album early, so I listened to lyrics anyway.
Yeah.
And then now you have now you can go and you can read the lyrics, which makes it even easier. But of course, with the album not being available, what I was going to do, call you and tell you to rap this part to me?
Right.
So it reminded me of how much I enjoy lyrics and having to listen. And having to listen back and having to listen back. And then not just the wordplay where it's like, oh, it's difficult. You know, I got to go down these rabbit holes, but even just the wordplay. I was like, oh my God, dude. Like, and I was literally writing down lyrics that I was like, when she come into the neighborhood, I got to ask her about this.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And from the beginning, I had already like I was already rewinding. And I think you got what, like, is it less than 20 or 20?
It's 22 tracks.
Including
we got an
interludes?
Intro, yeah, including interludes, intro, outro.
Right.
Like,
so I'm sitting here and I kept finding myself either rewinding the song over. And I'm like, dude, you got 20 fucking songs. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted 26.
Really? Why did you feel like you wanted 26?
Because there was more story that I wanted to share.
Right.
There were at least 4 more songs. I was like, I really want people to hear this and know this because I feel like there are people out here that can really relate to this.
Did it feel like it was started to write itself too? Was it easier to write or harder?
Easy.
To write?
It was when pandemic started in March. I think that first weekend I was by myself again. I just finished tour. I did like 12 songs in 2 days. So it was just pouring out. Over 4 years, I think I ended up with about 360 songs.
Jesus Christ. So when we say, 20, 22 or 26, if you're talking about 300, then you're like, hell yeah, you could have put 20.
Easy.
So when you go, not just all blood, sweat, and tears, you know, because life is like this anyway. There's times we want to do this, and there's times where we're like, okay, let me have this. How do you pick the ones that go onto an album? Like, how do you tell this baby, like, oh no, baby, you can't come with me?
You can't come.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a different process. It was hard though. It was really hard. There would be batches of songs where I would talk about the same topic over maybe 7 songs,
right?
Different beats in different ways, and I would have my core that's like, I love these 4. These 4 can't go anywhere, so we're gonna build around this,
gotcha.
Right? And then it was just plug and play. Like I got to a point where I said I need 2 more songs, but they got to be upbeat. I went to see DJ Premier. I played him an early version of it, and he was like, I love it, but you can't leave your fan base rap. So make sure you have 3 songs that are really for your fan base where you rapping. Like everything can't be emotional. I was like, dag, I received that. So I did those. I went to see Hit Boy for Asteroids. That was one of the ones. I did Raw, the joint with Lil Wayne. Like those were one of the ones, and that's DJ Premier. So, that was kind of my process. But we were in the studio. We plug a song, switch a song. And it was just one day, I had my favorite songs. We figured out the order, and I said, this feels good. This feels like a complete story.
How do you know when to let it go? Because at some point, how do you know, like, I'm done? Okay, I'm finished. Okay.
They say when you don't have anything else to say.
Really?
Yeah, and it got to a point where I was like, I don't have anything else to say. And I finished the album in August. I haven't been back in the studio maybe like 2 or 3 times, and that was for features. So I really don't have anything else to say. Now I'm just living and experiencing until I can get enough more for the next version of.
And you live, you live every day. There's a different experience.
Yeah.
And if you're done with the album in August, how do you not tempt yourself to go back in and say, oh, let me switch this up, or this changed?
Man, people telling me to stop.
Right? Yeah, hell yeah. Do you listen? Do you have a core of people?
I do.
That you can listen to have your best interest?
I absolutely do. Super strong village that I trust too.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes like you really have to listen to your gut. Like I've been told to stop a few times.
Gotcha.
But my gut was like, no, I'm not finished. But this time it's like, now you're overthinking it.
Rapsody, being so talented, how do you not, or do you, but I'll just say, how do you not get upset with the business or just the way things are viewed or listened to?
I think because I just want to have peace so much, right? And I think, I watched The Matrix a lot, and I had to understand that, that is the Matrix. It's an illusion. It's not real. So I can't look to that to validate me.
Gotcha.
I have to find peace within myself. And I said, what brings you peace? I said, well, getting up, being able to do what I do every day, and the people that I meet that my music affects and inspires.
Gotcha.
Everything else is a bonus.
Gotcha.
And that's just how I look at it, because otherwise I'm going to burn myself out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like,
because I figure that it's a lot, because even with the new project, right? Someone would jump on to Please Don't Cry. And then you got to think like, man, if you, and it is what it is, but if you're listening here, there's so much that you missed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like there's so much that you missed, and of course people come to you when they come to you.
Yeah, they do.
But, and hopefully people will grab it and look back at the catalog too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I asked that question is because to me, you're super talented. And I don't take away anything, whoever blessing is their blessing, whatever. I don't count people's pockets, none of that kind of stuff. But I would also kind of, and I don't know, I'm going through things too, where you just like, that's what y'all want? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's tough. You know,
Right.
you're human at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
I found myself, I was like, man, I just feel like I sit in a unique position where as a woman,
Mhm.
I want to support women, right? We've
Right.
never seen it like this in hip hop to this
Right.
magnitude. So I want to be supportive of that. But at the same time, at the grand scheme of things and music and Black culture and what we represent, where's the harmony?
Right.
You know, we need more harmony. It's just a lot of this, but we need harmony. You know, I was told to use harmony over balance.
Mm.
So, you know, that's just where I'm at. Cause I tell everybody, like, what's the agenda? Like, why is this the only story being pushed? You know,
Right.
we're humans. I like to dance and throw it back too, but also there's some days I like to be introspective and think, you know, and I feel and I have emotions. So where is that? Because we live in 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and we feeling different things all those days. So it's tough.
Now, Hit Boy you get in the studio, you vibe out with Hit Boy for
Yeah.
Asteroids. Alrighty, is that one of the early ones that you do, or
That
are
was
you
one of
already
them.
in grind mode?
That was one of the last ones we
One of
did.
the last ones.
Yeah. I had a lot of the record done, and I was with Terrace Martin, and I just knew, like, I said, Terrace, I need that joint that I could just go on, you know. And Omar at Rock Nation connected me with Hit Boy, and Terrace went with me, and we just went through beats and listened until we found that one. Because he had heard the album, and he was like, we would both look at each other, and we'd be like, that one. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
So,
even with like Hit got so many hits behind
so
him.
he can
You know
go
what I'm saying?
anywhere.
And I still feel like Hit Boy is still one of those people where it's like, damn, you know, Hit is so talented.
Yeah.
Terrace Martin is so talented. You are so talented. You know what I'm saying? So the three of y'all together, I still don't feel like y'all get the accolades. Like Hit starting to just take his. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? He just starting
You have
to take.
to.
But then when you go through Hit's catalog, you'll be like, he did that?
He did a lot.
But you know what it is too? And Hit, and especially Terrace, and y'all not the loudest in the room.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the loudest, well, for whatever it is, you know, the loudest just because they're loud. Loudest because they're goofy. Loudest because they're the shenanigans. Or loudest because people want to hear what they got to say.
Right.
But sometimes the loudest in the room, you know, and then when that goes away, you start looking for the real as well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You started, because at one point, you know, recently and years ago, we were in a much more goofy space where I was like, man, you know, I was even like, real talk, I was like, I can't play that.
Right. And it takes somebody to say that.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, yo, there was a time when there was a place for everything.
Yeah.
Everything wasn't supposed to be on the radio. It was for BET Uncut, you know?
Yeah.
And everything had its place, and now we're putting everything on the same tier. And it's like, that's...
Because I come from where if I wanted something political and like Public Enemy.
Yes.
Or I had Ice Cube. I had Joe Ski Love, Pee Wee Dance, whatever it is. I had these places I can go to. I knew that I could put on Rakim. I could put on Big Daddy Kane.
Yes.
And I knew, and then when I heard LL, there were just certain places that you went. I knew Ice Cube. I knew NWA.
Right.
If I wanted to rock out to DJ Quick, you had these.
Right.
And that's the way life is. It's not contradicting. You know, just because I do, you know, Hit 'Em Up and Brenda's Got a Baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's just the way it is sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I understand what you were saying. It would sound like we got into this sloppy carbon copy thing.
Yes.
That I was just like, oh man, I remember I did one interview and it didn't feel good to me. And I was like, I'm not doing those anymore.
Yo, you can't.
Yeah, it was a sign of the time. You know what I'm saying? They probably know who it is. Like, yeah. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But I recovered. You know what I'm saying? I recovered. I got two of them in my head now. You know what I'm saying? I got two of them. Let me stop before I get three. You know, but I do want to go back to Hit Boy. I do want to go back to Asteroids, right? And just for clearance, I wanted to clip it and play it, but sometimes they hit you and it's licensing. So I'm just gonna this is crazy. I'm gonna read back to you what you wrote, which sounds ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Industry plants. I eat them like Dr. Sabi.
Yep.
Do that line for me. If I went basic, I'd be in the race. If I had a dick, I'd be in the greatest debates. Call me. Do you say call me picky as fuck y'all bitches like Lena? Fuck y'all bitches like Lena Waithe.
Pick me.
Call me.
Pick me.
Pick me.
Yeah.
So what's the line there?
Oh man.
Yeah. Pick me. I fuck you.
You said what?
It's from the If I Had a Dick, I'd be in the greatest debates.
If I had a dick, I'd be in the greatest debate. Oh, I done forgot the line. Wait, I gotta say it from the beginning. Oh man, I can't remember.
Because this is the one I kept rewinding on, but it was like something picked me. Fuck y'all bitches like Lena Waithe. And I love when you say y'all threw rocks at me. Y'all threw rocks.
I threw back asteroids.
I threw back asteroids.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
To me, you can say whatever you want about me. You don't know me. I'm so much bigger than that. Mm-hmm. That's what that is. Like, it doesn't even affect me. That little rock you throwing, boy, I'll take your whole world out.
Yeah,
you know, and that's, I just wanted to be on my braggadocious, like, you know, I was on my Wayne thing right then.
Hello. Do you have a verse for Kendrick or Cole or Rick Ross, Quavo, Chris Brown? You know what I'm saying?
If somebody want to tag me in there, no, but otherwise I'm just observing. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Are those kind of things people say? Oh, so sport is good for hip hop. Do you listen and look at those things as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing for hip hop. It's done in an artistic art form, you know. And when you think about what hip hop was created on, you know, with the Zulu Nation,
yes, ma'am.
It was these games, and they were like, we're not gonna fight and kill no more. We're gonna battle. You're gonna get on that cardboard, you're gonna break dance, you're gonna pick up that mic, you're gonna DJ, we're just gonna battle that way. So that's why I look at it, like, it's exciting for hip hop, and you have to bring out your swords. You know, you got to be sharp with it. So, you know, I think it's dope as long as it stays in the music.
Yeah,
why
yes,
not?
That's the same thing I was saying. As long as it stays there
in the music,
you know. And we've seen some of the best scenarios play out of this.
Yeah,
where even with Jay-Z and Ether, these dudes get back on stage and they, you know what I'm saying? They're together. Ice Cube versus NWA. You know, we see them get back together, make movies, get, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, get everything, you know. And then you also saw the Tupac and Biggie thing. So now you have this thing that you can compare it to, and you say, okay, well, let's keep it here.
Because we don't want it to go there. We saw how that ended.
As opposed to over there. Do you have, and I don't want to say problem, but how do you view yourself? Because you definitely are not in a box.
No.
Yet people try to always, and not just the so-called female MC, there's always these boxes that people want to put you in. Right. You know, oh, that's West Coast with such and such. Oh, that's such and such. That's conscious rapper. That's it.
Yeah.
So how do you vocally do you tell people, I'm not a female MC, or don't put me in a box? Do you say those things?
I do.
Right.
I do it.
Why is that important to you?
Because
we never say, oh, male MC coming to the microphone right about now.
Right. Because when you put a label on it, it does put you in a box.
It does.
And it makes you separate. It makes you other. And that's not reality. So I have to remind people and sometimes make them aware of what they're doing. Because sometimes it's so subconscious. They're so used to it. Everybody does it. I'm going to just say it. I have to remind you, like, as a woman, that doesn't work for me. You know, because, you know, it's like, oh, this is the women's section and everybody else is the GOAT and talented and y'all are good.
Right.
We're not doing that. So I have to make people aware, and I have to speak up for myself
and
other women.
Do you always feel like you get those kind of questions though, where it's like, how do you feel about women running hip hop right now? And
I'm so tired of those questions.
Right.
I've been getting them for 10 plus years.
Yeah. And even more so, it got to be even more so now.
Yes. What do you think about the state of women in hip hop?
Right.
What do you think?
Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about hip hop?
You know?
Yeah, because I always see it as well, man. You never hear male DJ.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, yeah.
It's like we alien out here and they just cannot believe it, you know? So, yeah, nah, it's like.
And then on your worst day, you got a lot of people that you would eat up on their best day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
You can't even say for such and such, he's a good this, and for such and such, she's a good this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just no boxing. That's why I ask you, are you vocal about it?
Yeah.
You know, because Michael Jackson, even with Michael Jackson, when we say the king of pop, you know Michael Jackson as the king of pop. Right. You know the first person who said king of pop for Michael Jackson? Michael said it himself.
I watched the documentary.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he wrote down
I didn't even know it was in the doc. Yeah. What documentary is that?
The one on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, exactly. But he said it, and now, you know, he commands you to say that. Mr. T, and y'all can Google this if y'all don't know who Mr. T is. He grew up a certain way. Things was going down. It was prejudice, so on and so forth. So he named himself Mr. T because the first thing that come out your mouth is Mr. And that's a sign of respect.
Right.
You know, so sometimes you got to tell people how you want to be treated.
And I'm working on getting better at that,
Yeah.
right? Because I was like, I just let them. I was just taught like let the work and the music speak for
Right.
itself. You don't have to yell it. But at the same time, I think there's a balance, and you can affirm yourself and validate yourself without dimming anybody else's light,
Right.
and really shining yours, and really say like, this is who I am.
Right.
This is who I want to be. So
And it's crazy because with men, it'd be like, oh, he's a boss. You know, don't do
Right.
this, don't do it. With women, she's a bitch.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like you'll
Right.
see, like I watched Jennifer Lopez, like her documentary, Beyonce documentary, and they like this. You know what I'm saying? But then when you watch, and they like, oh, you know, but when it's guys, it's like, oh, that's some boss shit right there.
Right.
Look at him. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and there's just a lot. And some of it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but also, man, it's up to us. If we don't change narratives, they're going to be forever and a day. And sometimes you got to wait on the next person. That's not going to happen.
No, we could do it right now.
Yeah, man. So with the album, One of Them Days, I love to flip on that.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
One of them days. So
I know you recorded like 300. I almost got you on asteroids. And she was going through like, oh my God. Oh.
Yeah,
she was over there
like,
doing the Rain Man. Like, oh.
I want to be like, what's the first bar? I just need that, and then I can go.
Like you should have told me, you had me out there in the hallway. You should have said you was going to have a lyric sheet.
I'm supposed to know.
Yeah.
One of them days, I love people. I love giving energy, but at the same time, my social battery goes all the way down. So I wanted to talk about, this is how human I am. I like to be home. Don't call me. Don't text me. If you do, if I don't reply back, it's not against you. I just really need to sit with myself. And I really love, Monica's take on just one of those days. Don't take it personal. So that's what it was about. Like, don't take it personal if you don't hear from me from 6 months.
Right.
Like, I'm working on me.
Can you step away and do that now as opposed to back in the days when it was not a problem, but it was harder to do?
Yeah, it's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to turn off before.
Right.
I was like, you don't have time to do that. You got a goal, so you got to give everything. If you slack and rest for 7 days, somebody else who choose not to is going to come up and lap you.
Yeah.
So I treat this just like I treated basketball when I was growing up. First one to practice, last one to leave. No days skipped.
Right.
But now it's like you build a foundation. You've rewarded yourself time to, step
and
back
you
when
need
you need
it.
to. Yeah.
You need it.
Mental health is so important.
Yeah. Have you always known that, or do you know it even more so? Because we're starting to hear more conversations about mental health. Because at one point it was, suck it up. Life is
I'm
hard.
From that generation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Life is hard. And even just growing up, you heard certain words that was like taboo. You heard shrink.
Yeah.
You heard, head doctor. You heard crazy, and so those were all definitions of I can't go speak to someone because you're not supposed to.
Right.
And now we have more dialogue where it's like, I even bring up, man, have you been in therapy? As opposed to, we didn't speak about it before.
Right. No.
Do you find yourself talking about it? And even listening to the album, I could tell that you're more in a more comfortable place, even if it's uncomfortable.
It was so growth is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Super uncomfortable, scary. Like I had to learn fearlessness with this one. But I had to do a lot of work, and I learned about therapy and learned about mental health. I haven't been to therapy with a therapist, but it's on my list, right? But the conversation, I would say in the last maybe 5 years, I remember Charlemagne yelling it to the rooftops.
Right.
But again, it's not taboo anymore. Everybody should do it. Children should do it while they're in school. Like you have to practice therapy and learn about yourself and learn how to process everything that you're experiencing as a human.
And I think you opened up to it even more so. When you say I haven't been, there is therapy and there is a therapist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You just haven't been to a therapist.
But I practice therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's sometimes when people say, you know what, I haven't been to church, but I got God in me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I haven't been to the place. But I'm open to it. I'll get there. And this is one of those things where you will get there, but you probably have a circle of people and yourself that you can talk to.
I absolutely do. I couldn't have got on that journey without the village.
Right.
Somebody had to introduce me, had to teach me about consciousness, frequency, and all those things that were important, just to opening up my thought process and really tapping into what that meant.
And Stand Tall, that's another one where I felt like there's a lot that's there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's extremely well written too.
Thank
extremely well written, extremely well delivered. And there's so many things that you do tackle in that. You tackle sexuality, anxiety, anxiety, panic attacks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Like there's for that many years.
Yeah. And when you say you suffer from that for many years, that's another thing when somebody just think that they could just shake it out of you.
Yeah,
like, girl, don't think about that. Or don't and it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And I had to learn. I haven't had one since mid 2020. But before that, I'd had suffered from 10 years. I wake up out of my sleep running. I would have panic attacks at home, and I'd call the ambulance so much and nothing was wrong with me. I would drive to the ER and just sit in the parking lot until I calmed down. But I had to learn how powerful the mind was. And that was part of my journey in healing. Like, one of my friends was like, yo, it's really all in your mind. You don't understand how powerful your thoughts are, and they create physical responses.
Yes.
And once I learned that and learned to conquer that and control it, I haven't had one in 4 years.
How do you keep outside? And this is the same thing with Stand Tall. I really wrote notes because I kept listening to this one over and over. I know that there's sometimes when you feel like you gotta be there for other people, and sometimes we neglect ourselves.
Absolutely.
The outside chatter that comes with it. Like, it's even worse now because I always tell people, I say, man, back in the days, if someone was bullied at school, they were bullied from probably about 8 o'clock to like 2:30.
Yeah.
And now with social media, you're bullied 24/7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it can pile on. So how, even with Stand Tall, the outside chatter that came in with people questioning life and, like things about you, how do you keep that outside chatter from not, knocking you down?
Yeah. I mean, everybody say don't read the comments, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing. Remove yourself. I still read comments.
Right.
The thing that I was empowered by is I had to learn that whatever somebody's saying about you is never really about you. They're projecting their own insecurity on you. And once I learned that and got that into my mind, I was able to, you can observe things without feeling anything from it or having to react, right? And that's just what it was. Like, I don't see as many negative comments, but when I do, it's like, I have empathy for that.
Right.
And I hope that you heal. But I see where you are in your journey. You're still here, but hopefully you'll evolve higher. So that's all I just observe now, but it doesn't stick to me like
and
that.
It's crazy because sometimes I say, like, man, who does that? You know what I'm saying?
Hurt people.
Yeah, hurt people. I was about to say that too, man, because you never hear like somebody like a Beyonce get up and just say, hey, yeah, y'all, look what you wearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, look at
your
you.
baby ugly.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, and so I look at certain things, I'm just like, man, it's a sign of the time, and it's not going to go away.
No.
So it depends on how you deal with it.
Exactly.
It depends on what you do with it, man. And sometimes it's hard to just say, oh, don't let that affect you. Because you can have 100 great ones in one and then it just blurs out the 99.
Yes. And that just goes to show the power of our mind. Like, it's like all this good, and why do you choose to focus on that one, right?
Yeah.
But you have to allow yourself to be have grace with yourself and be like, yo, I'm human in this moment, but don't sit in it.
Right. So. Yeah, because sometimes, and I'll be like, man, I wish I would know who to smoke. You start arguing with yourself and stuff.
Yo,
like, man,
I have to catch myself because I go look at that page and I'll be like, ooh, it's a lot I could say.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But I'll be like, Rap, don't do it.
And then I don't know who said it, man, but they was like, man, they'll put that and you on. I think it was Megan Thee Stallion. It was somebody, and then they were like, and they walk away from it. And that whole day and night, you just like, oh, I can't, you know what I'm saying? And then 9 times out of 9.5, they'll see you, so be like, Rapsody.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. But
I remember you.
Yeah. And people say it come with the business. There's certain things that come with it, but damn, man, you're human as well.
Yo, so human. Like, I don't know. People just being people at the end of the day.
Man, alrighty. Loose Rocks.
Loose Rocks. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Do you know your material?
Yeah.
I know you recorded 300 songs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. With that one, that's when I put that, say, you can hear the happiness, but you can also hear the pain in your voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And with that, who is that for? If you...
That's my mom's sister, my Aunt Dale.
Yeah. She suffer from dementia?
Yeah. My grandmother suffered from it.
Yeah.
And now my aunt hasn't. And she's the oldest sister, so she helped raise me. All my aunts are like my second moms. But when my grandparents died, she was the next in line, the maternal.
So well,
So yeah.
And whose voice are we hearing at the end on the
That's her.
voicemails?
She called me. I was in Dallas at S1's. We were working on the album. I stayed with S1's for about a month. And I called her. I was like, yo, I haven't seen her in a while. Let me just call and check up on her. And I just recorded the conversation because I didn't record all of it, but she said something. I was like, I need to keep this for myself.
Wow.
Like,
so you gave us some.
Yeah,
but then there was something that was just for you.
That was just for me.
Man, it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And anyone that has someone that, and not even with just dementia, Alzheimer's, just anyone that have something and knowing that how precious things are.
Yeah.
And nothing lasts forever.
It doesn't.
And then when you speak about, like the forgetting or, like when I say it was so well written, I tell everybody, man, when you get the album in your possession, listen to that.
Thank you.
And it really makes you love people even more so.
Yeah.
Because time is extremely precious, especially with the ones you love.
Especially. And that's, something that taught me to slow down and make time more for family. Because, no matter who you love, you're going to lose somebody eventually in this life. So it's like make time, make memories,
And you feel like you're doing that now?
Absolutely.
Really dope. What was your relationship with Mac Miller?
Oh, that was my homie. That was my friend, family. Outside of just two kids loving music, and we came up together, and he was such a big support. A lot of artists will tell you like, he helped propel me. Some of my foundation of my fan base are Mac Miller's fans.
Right.
He always shared his light with me. I remember when he first moved to LA and we came and he wasn't even in town. He's like, yo, Rap, Knife, y'all just go to the house. Like, just use the studio. It's fine. Like, he was just a really loving person.
Yeah.
I can't say that we talked every day, but we were family and we would check up on each other every now and again. So it was
and
a
you
heavy
worked early
loss.
on as far as like tour and everything?
Yeah, I went on my first tour because he brought me. It was my very first mixtape I put out in 2010, Return of the Beat Girl. And he had came down to North Carolina in a station wagon to work with Knife. Yeah, and I was a studio rat. I was always in the studio. So we met, and we played. I was playing him songs. He was working on stuff, and we did Extra Extra, a record I put on my next mixtape. And he left. We had such a good time, and he called Knife like a week or two later. He was like, I want to take her on tour with me. That was it.
So just
easy.
In the studio, hearing something. And it's crazy because when you say, man, I was a studio rapper, I was, like you put the time in. That's that Outliers. That's that 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you put it in, and not to take away anything from today, but it seemed like some of the stuff today is like, okay, because when you talk about my first mixtape 10 years ago,
we're
sitting here 14 years, pretty much, later.
A lot of legwork.
Yeah, man.
I was always told as quick as it comes, as quick as it goes.
Right.
So in the words of Nipsey, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
It is and everybody's gonna have their time, and they're gonna be in time you're gonna have to give the baton.
Right.
It'll come back, but
And you work with Nipsey as well. Well, you got a lot of collaborations. Why do you think so many people felt it was a vibe or very necessary to work with you?
I think when you're an artist, it's a mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's an energy. I always went into it just loving what we did, not looking for anything. It was never disrespectful. I just love music and I love people. And I think that's what it is. I'm talented, but I know my energy is good. And I know how I love and respect people. And I know I was raised to do that. And I think that means something, And I always supported everybody and vice versa. So, we were just a family, all trying to figure it out.
From Please Don't Cry, Diary of a Mad Bitch. You know how you say sometimes you let people in.
On them.
Yeah, you know how you say that sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm vulnerable. I'm letting you in. And then you say then there's sometimes where you just gotta.
Y'all pissing me off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't like to show that side. But
you say we've seen enough ass. That ain't special to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen enough ass.
It's like
that
taking a bath. It's like everyday shit.
Yeah. It's every day you say that. You know what I'm saying? And there's sometimes where I be like, man, okay, I see her ass. Turn around. I want to see what her face looks like. like Jesus Christ, man. And you also say like you do where you mention Lil' Kim when it comes to respect.
Yeah.
Like, cause you'll say, as we seen him every day, the same thing with, we take a bath every day. It's not special. But why did you feel it was necessary to say, boom, respect to Lil' Kim as well.
Yeah, because Kim was the first one, to my knowledge, that came out and really owned that in an authentic way,
Right.
though, right? We had, so much diversity in the 90s when it came to women. And Kim was she was just her, but she could rap. Let's not get it twisted. Like, she had a body and it was sexy, but she was like, I could do this. I could put clothes on and still be me, right? And I just thought it was so authentic, but I think she is the inspiration for everything. Her and Misa, the way Misa styled her and made sexy fly. That is the foundation of all this. So it's like, okay, I see y'all. If y'all gonna do it though, respect to the GOAT that did it.
You know what I noticed from you as well, Rapsody, and I probably haven't caught anything if there's anything that's been said like that, but I never catch like hater, bitter, wish she was. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't have that in me.
Yeah, and you don't get yourself caught up in that.
No, that doesn't serve me in any way. And the conversation, a lot of times people try to throw me in it, use me to like, this is the standard,
Right.
I'm just one example. We not everybody has an experience, and if you're speaking from your experience and it's true, then tell your story. I love Cardi B because we know Cardi B is raw and authentic in that way, and it's real. So it's space for everybody to exist.
Yeah, and when you say space, how do you carve out, not even carve, but your space? You know what I'm saying? Like the same way you just said Cardi B. And you probably may not do what Cardi B does, and probably won't, probably can't, whatever it may be. In the same way, Cardi B not doing what you do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, even on a team, there's a quarterback, there's a this, there's a that, and everybody plays their position.
Everybody plays their position.
You know what I'm saying? And just like when some are on the bench and some get in the game, sometimes they're not worthy. But we're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you know what your audience and what your job and what feels good to you.
I absolutely do. I listen to everything.
Right.
When I'm at home recording myself, do I make things that are fun and I'm like shake? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I look at the field and I'm like, yo, this is me and who I am. And there's so much of this being said. Let me be the one to talk about this. I can enjoy that. And now I have something where other people can enjoy and see themselves.
Has anyone ever told you to do something different for success?
No.
Okay.
No, not nobody in my camp.
Yeah, nobody that you listen to.
Absolutely not. And they know I'm a true Aquarius. Anything you tell me I can't do or that I shouldn't do, I'm doing the opposite.
I bet you can't give me $2,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now what? I told you.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. No, matter of fact, when you say I see what you did there, I see what you did here. I strode, God needed me down this road like Diana and Mike. I can't be stagnant. I'm learning from the scarecrows in life.
That's one of my favorite bars on the album.
Yeah,
that's
man.
One of my favorite bars. Yo, I like a pageant. I wear my state of mind on my chest. I was like, I don't know if people are going to get what I'm saying, but it's right there.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about. How excited I am.
Thank you.
And was to listening to the album.
I'm excited.
And when you say stroll down the road like Diana and Mike, that's the Wiz, that's easy on down the road. I was like, oh. Like, you know, and that's crazy that you said that's one of those lyrics.
Yeah, like that's one I'm super proud of. Like, I don't be, like you said, I don't have to, but that's when I'm like, nah, I ate on that one.
Like,
y'all can't see my pen, I swear to God.
And that's when you're like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, man. And that's why I tell it with Please Don't Cry. I'm like, man, and it's such like a journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's such a journey. And I think that's when I say that's what life is. You feel certain ways at certain moments, but also even what I have, I don't know if that's a sequence of the album that I have, but even what I heard, it was just, the flow was right. And that was another one too, Rapsody, where I couldn't wait, but I was taking my time, but I couldn't wait to see what the next verse was. And that's when you know you got something.
Damn,
and you know what I noticed as well? Some of the songs, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like just sitting this long and you just...
I didn't force it.
Nah.
When I was done, you know. There was only one record I wish we had finished, and that was Black Pop Star. Yeah, I was like...
What do you mean finished?
It's incomplete, but it still felt good, so I put it up there.
Oh, wow.
I just made... When I'm talking at the ending, I just made it work, so it had a transition. But I really wanted it to be like a record with a hook and another section of verse. I really wanted Missy on it. Missy or Tierra Whack, you know, but it was one that was fun. I was just like, you know, that's why I hear. So I want to go back and really finish it and maybe do a reprise.
How's Rock Nation going for you right now?
amazing.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. A lot of artists, talk about their bad experiences in the industry. My experience is beautiful. They have always been supportive. Every album I brought them, they've never asked me to change anything. It's even with Sherry and Omar, this is the first album I've put out from start to finish with them. Like they've taught me so much more about the business and even opened me up to like, yo, rap, who you want to work with. And I was like, I've been there a while, but I've been through changes so nobody's really never asked me that before. So I'm really understanding what a label can really do for you, but they really care about artist development, artist vision, and it's such a beautiful experience.
And being, having a fan base already just independently.
Yeah.
Were you kind of afraid of the so-called majors? Like they had to bring, but you knew what they had to bring too.
Yeah.
Right.
You hear stories. But no, like when I got there, Jay, of course, green lit me being signed, and Shaka Pilgrim was the president at that time, and it felt like Jamla Records.
Yeah,
they just had more money.
Hello, yeah. But that's a hell of a green light. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay-Z said, "Hey, this is it," who goes? Well, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Are you sure?
Maybe
like,
Beyonce.
Yeah. But even in the idea of beautiful, right?
Yeah.
When you say like, I want to meet Jay-Z.
Yeah. They say words are spells.
Yeah.
And
that shows you too where you got to be careful
what you say.
Yep, of what you say.
I'm very
because the universe is listening.
Always.
And if you say, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that, or this hatred, so you're creating that universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the thing of mine. I'm super intentional about what I do, words I say. People take the pictures with the angel wings. I say absolutely not.
Really? Oh.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's a spell to me too.
Yeah.
I love living.
Yeah, man, that is true. Damn. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Because you don't see people just pulling up saying, man, I'm going to take a picture in front of this casket right here. Like, man, let's go to the casket depot because we have enough wherewithal there. But yeah, that's real, the angel wings.
Yeah, I will not do it. No, sir.
Man.
Put some butterfly wings or something. Nah, not that either. If you believe in reincarnation.
Man, just give me some hot wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just give me some hot, organic chicken if you can. But yeah, just give me some hot wings, man. Don't give me no angel wings. Yeah, grass fed. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna give me any kind of wings, man, don't just have me, eulogizing myself.
You know what I mean?
Hey, man, now she done gave me too much of the mind. Yeah, man. Because you imagine, because you know how you go into places and it's like the parties and they're like, oh, put the angel wings on, put the glasses on. Like, nah, man. Rhapsody said, don't do that. Don't give me that hat because I ain't no pimp. Don't give
Wear the backdrop with some money on it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like please, like, nah, don't do it. Because have you ever looked at something and it look eerie?
Yes.
You know how you see like the murals, or where you will see like the artwork that you'll stand in front of, like and it'd be like the hand, and you'll see somebody. But then when you see somebody pass,
and they took that photo,
you're like,
eerie.
Oh, that was eerie right there.
Yeah, I was like,
damn, that's another layer. Are you going to restrip anything into the album? Because let me know, because we can have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's a bar right there. I'd be like, yeah, and just cut this part of the interview in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say nothing else.
We got to do that for the deluxe.
Yeah, I did. And you can't be thinking about a deluxe right now.
I've been thinking.
Really?
Yeah, I have so many songs. I'm like, how am I going to share it?
So if you do 300 for Please Don't Cry, how many did you do for like Eve or so literally there's
Eve
somewhere
was about 80.
But literally there's somewhere that there's probably 500 to 1,000 songs somewhere.
Yeah, easy.
Complete, incomplete, thought of pieces.
When I first started working on Please Don't Cry, I was working on 3 albums at one time. So I ended up, Please Don't Cry was the one I focused on. That was 360, but there was another project that probably got maybe 120 songs, and then there's another one, maybe 25.
See,
so
I don't want all that work.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm the barely getting by enough. You can ask my producer Jason. I say, Jason, we got it. He's like, yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying?
Good to go.
Knowing he wants 2 or 3 more, I'm like, Jason, that's it, man. I think we gotta. You're like, all right, now. Piece the rest together. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but your project.
I'm overachieving out here.
But that's good though.
Yeah.
Because and it's crazy because sometimes people probably think like I'll hear certain things, right? Like I'll hear J. Cole.
Yeah.
And I'll say, that was hard.
Yeah.
You know, but he makes it where I'm like, and not any fault of his, like, man, that could have been much easier, but he doesn't choose that.
He doesn't.
Kendrick, so there's some people that just don't choose that.
We don't choose that. And I listen to Andre, was I really just working too hard?
Yeah,
on the
man.
Frank joint, and I be thinking, I was like, why am I working so hard?
But
There's some people that care, and there are a lot of people like,
but I think you couldn't work another way.
I don't. I'm so wired like that. So I just allow myself to be.
Rapsody, I know this was a while ago, but I remember being so moved by your BET performance back in 2019. That was such a good one. But I'm interested to know from this new album, which tracks are you most excited to perform in front of your fans?
Oh, that's a tough one. From this one, 3 a.m. with Erykah Badu is definitely one. It's so many. Let me think. Black Pop Star would be fun. Raw with Lil Wayne would be fun. Ballad of Homegirl with Baby Tate would be fun. It's so diverse, and it's just a different energy and mood for everything, you know. But 3 a.m. is probably my favorite.
You know what I love about the project as well, Please Don't Cry, is that it was like you just said some names, right? But it wasn't about the features.
No.
Or it wasn't like the features, like, not like, oh, they ate you up. They made like, you know what I'm saying? Because even right now, when you say 3 a.m., you say Erykah Badu, I was like, I wasn't even thinking Erykah Badu.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, and I didn't go to a list and say, oh, let me hear the Erykah Badu first. Let me hear this one first. It just came and it went.
It was just about the music.
Yes.
Man,
yes, man. And it wasn't about the features. And I could tell that whoever you work with, it's by choice.
Yeah.
And you compliment them and they complimented you.
Yeah, super, super intentional. I never try to approach features like, I want to work with this person, let's force the record.
Right.
Me and S1 or Black Odyssey, we do it. And if I finish it myself, I did. But if I didn't, it'd be like, who do you hear on it? What voice, what instrument is missing? I'd be like, a Lil Wayne, I'd love to hear his perspective. A Badu. Even Wayne, like Wayne sent me his verse back. He's so good. Because I was approaching it like, I'm not going to try to, again, be like crazy lyrical and rap hard. I'm just do something that's fun. People can easily remember. When I got his verse back, I was like, no, I have to meet him.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, I have no problem with telling people I heard Wayne's verse and I went back and rewrote mine. So I can meet his level of great.
And you can. As opposed to be like, damn, I can't even. You know what I'm saying? You give me a Lil Wayne verse, you just gonna hear me go, yeah.
Yeah.
Kill him, Wayne.
Get it, Wayne.
Yeah. And here go Wayne. And then I'm like this, you know what I'm saying? That'd be one of them things where when I'm in concert, they be like, man, is Wayne coming on? They be like, man, I hope so. Because this dude is trash on this song. You know what I'm saying? Got that Lil Wayne feature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you should have saw me. Like, I was trying different cadences, and I was like, why am I thinking so hard? What was his cadence? Okay, let me just plug my own words to it. And that was it. Like, he helped to grow me.
So when you got it back, you were probably like, oh, yeah. Oh, hell.
I was like, yes.
And Wayne sound like Wayne.
Wayne sound like Wayne. Wayne
Yeah,
sound
man.
like, no auto-tune.
Yeah,
Like,
and it wasn't like throwaway, like, oh, you know, give her this one. Yeah, let's give this one to Rapsody. You know what I'm saying? It was just like a Wayne verse.
Yeah, he put my name in it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've been listening to this man since I was 13
That's
years
crazy,
old.
right?
Like, so to have that moment was super special.
I heard that. So with Please Don't Cry, are you more than comfortable with the project that you have?
I'm so comfortable.
Yeah,
so
man.
at peace. People ask how you feel. I said I'm peaceful. This is what freedom feels like to me. And no matter how people receive it, because everybody's not gonna love it, but I know I'm happy with it.
But you know, it's crazy because your album, somebody could say your album is not great. Your album is whack.
Yeah.
And we don't even listen.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
There's times that people be like, oh man, I didn't like it. Like, you listen, no, not really.
She
I know.
boring. She this
Yeah,
and that.
yeah.
And it's like I know the people I do respect though. Jay like it, Big Boy like it,
Yeah.
this person like it. So your ears do not matter.
And
to
plus,
me.
man, there's sometimes when you just need something. You want and you need it. Not or. You know, like you want and you need that. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because listening to the album, Please Don't Cry, there's sometimes you don't know, like, oh, I didn't know I needed that. But I literally know where I was at listening to that album. And I was just thinking like, oh, I'll start here.
Yeah.
I'll start throughout the day. But I listened and it had me through the whole album.
Wow.
And then I started listening and going through certain things. But I was like, oh my God. That's why when I walked in, I said, dude, did anyone get Rapsody's album?
Dang.
And I was like, man, listen to it. And when you listen, I feel like there's certain things where you could be unattentive and be like this. But when I say listen to the album, don't hear the album. Like, oh, I just hear it. You can walk into Target and hear something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But have you ever heard, like, have you hear something, but have you ever sat and just like listened?
Right.
There's a difference where if you're at a store and you say, oh, then you're like, wait, because I'll just walk through the hallway now, right?
Yeah.
And we have multiple stations here. And I was listening and then I was like, oh, damn.
Stop eating.
And I heard Losing My Religion,
Mm-hmm.
REM. And I heard it. Now I'm listening to it. Like, so that's what I tell people, man, you need to listen to the album.
Thank you.
And you have a great project.
And
you could tell you put in many years and it's been solid.
I did.
When did you first know that you wanted to do this? Because you're a fan first.
Yeah. Oh, when I wanted to rap?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew young. MC Light, Poor Georgie. I saw that and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, believing that I could do it took a lot longer. But I knew, I played basketball and where I'm from, basketball is God.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to play basketball, but I really love music and I would love to rap.
So it was Light. And Light was one of those too, man.
Still
oh my
one
God.
of those. That woman song she put out, that verse, still one of those.
And she still can get on stage. Like Light comes from give me an instrumental
and
and a microphone.
That's all I need.
You know what I'm saying? And even it's always been.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Paper thin, like everything. Oh my God. Light will rap. It's laps.
It's laps
around
yes.
you. So you go from a spectator kind of, and you just knew I want to do this.
I knew I wanted to do this. It wasn't until I was 21, 22 until I started to really practice it.
Right. But you were in a group in high school?
I was in a group in college.
And that was?
Cooley High.
That's crazy. Now, where did you get the name Cooley High from?
You know I got it from that movie.
Yeah, but you know what's a trip about that too? Like Rapsody, I don't know your age, but you got like an old soul.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And some days I'm a child.
Yeah, it's childlike, but that's what it is. But I'll hear something, I'm like, how did she know that?
Yeah, man. I was, again, my aunts and them raised me.
Right, gotcha.
My dad loves being black, know. So I tell people when Christmas came around, you watching Home Alone or whatever, he's like, we watching Roots.
Yeah.
So I just grew up.
Is your dad named Keith Alexander? Sound like my brother. Did your dad get suspended for school for beating up white people when Roots came out?
His daddy did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. It was quite crazy. Yeah, it was quite crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It was a time.
Yeah, so everything with growing up, that's kind of was the seasoning for what you do now.
Yeah, I had a beautiful balance. I was exposed to a lot. I allowed myself to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's crazy when you have your ears open like that. Even with what I do in radio, I didn't know that I was preparing for this.
Wow.
Like having conversations, learning from family, learning Hebrew in the 4th grade. Everything that I've learned
has prepared you.
Yes.
For you, when did you know? Like what age? Who was it?
You know what's a trip about that? I asked Vince Staples. No, I didn't ask him, but I saw someone ask him a question that I've asked to other people. And it was, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah.
And that sounds like a real question. Then Vince Staples said, how do you fall in love with hip hop? He said, I always had it. And then he said, like, no one can ask you, man, when did you fall in love with your mother?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You just knew that you loved your mom and wasn't I always had her. You knew that you loved her. So I understood that. But hip hop, music, it was just something that I can always go back to. Yeah. Like my mom, in our household, we grew up on, Temptations, Diana Ross, Jackson 5, so on and so forth. And then there's this thing called hip hop that comes.
Yes.
That's mine.
That's yours.
You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoyed everything, but I was like, wait, what is this?
What?
You know what I'm saying? What is a turntable? How are they speaking here? So I found myself just being in love with this thing, and going out and buying records without even knowing what just looking at the title.
Or the album cover.
Yeah, and listening and playing things until the grooves wore thin. Like, I loved it. I loved taking a radio and putting it to my ear and, and I loved exploring and looking for it. And we didn't have, all the streaming and satellites. And, you couldn't even get hip hop on radio stations unless it was something special at night or on a weekend. And that was probably just on one. So you had this group of people. It looked a certain way. He listens to hip hop. She listens to hip hop.
Right.
It sounded a certain way. And that was like us. You know what I'm saying? We were like, when you saw another unicorn,
you recognized.
Oh, yeah. And so it was just one of those things. And I always knew that I wanted to be a part of it in some capacity.
That part, right?
And it wasn't Rapsody. It wasn't just, I didn't think, I'm going to do radio. I did everything. I wrote, I tried to do beats. I did breakdancing. I did graffiti. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I was going to do something. Then when I got with the Far Side and became a bodyguard, I just wanted to be next to hip hop. I wanted to be next to this music. And once radio came, here I am. But I always knew that I wanted to be a part of this.
Same feeling. Same. I knew young I wanted to rap. When I got in college, I was like, I'm gonna transfer and I'm gonna do radio. But it was the writing. It's like you say, I was hosting rap shows, hosting rap battles, doing spoken word. Like, it was all in the culture for me. But you find your way.
Yeah. And that's the saying, you throw everything up against the wall.
And see what sticks.
And then it's like, okay, this is it. And I tried everything. I kept coming back to music, or I kept coming back to hip hop, or just something that had to do. Like, I knew that I wasn't going to be your accountant. I knew I wasn't going to be this. There's just some things. It's not about I can't. I just knew I wasn't going to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Yes, exactly. So I knew that I knew where I wanted to grow, where I wanted to live. And I don't mean live by dwelling, where I wanted to be. And that was in this thing over here. And I knew I wanted to be, not only was I a spectator, and a fan of, then when I got to being a person that could contribute to it. Oh.
And you have contributed.
Yeah, man. I'm on year 30 right now. Hip hop is 50. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy, man. And the thing about it too, Rapsody, I'm pretty sure the same with you. I'm still excited about it.
Every day.
Yeah. I still love it.
There's still so much more new to do.
And it's still brand new.
That's the exciting part.
Yeah, man.
That's what you love about it.
I remember KRS-One saying 50 years down the line, we could start this. And we'll be the old school artists. You know what I'm saying? And now look at hip hop.
It's just
that was a young kid saying that. And we're here. I remember people, it's a fad. You probably had people too that told you rap.
Yes. What you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
You gonna make money doing that?
And here you are. Loan me 2,000. You know what I'm saying? No, don't loan me. You know when you get in a position, there's no longer loans.
My rule is, if you're gonna loan it, no, you're not getting it back.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's the rule. Don't expect it back.
Almost boom, it's your fault. Rapsody, thank you so much for coming into the neighborhood, Queen. It is a pleasure sitting down with you, man. And I encourage everyone to make sure that they grab that album and they listen to that album and feed your soul. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just feed your soul, like you sitting there going, oh yeah. Because it's banging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like where I wasn't in a fetal position on the bed, like,
crying.
I remember one time I got up and I was like, oh my God. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Good. Like, it got to a point where I was literally laying down and I had my phone on my chest like this, right? And I'm listening. And then when I started to rewind, I'm like, rewinding. Then I remember I literally got up and went to go get headphones. And I was like, I got to hear this. I got to hear what she's saying. And it wasn't about the interview. It wasn't about, I got to study this. You know what I'm saying? Because I could just, I wanted to have a conversation.
And we did.
Yeah, we
did. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
That's what it was. It was like, man, I just want to go back to having, like, when we felt it and we lived it, just having fun and just really doing something that feel good without all the outside noise. So thank you.
I love it. And thank you for putting it together. You know what I'm saying? Rapsody in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.